Hey, it's Mike at MPD Sports. I know it's been a little bit, but we've been a bit busy lately. And now it's time to go over, like I said, our last article was the Boston Celtics going forward. At least they have the third pick overall in this draft, so that they should be able to use that to do something. So hopefully Danny Ainge will find a way not to screw that up. And now let's get to the Red Sox, because we have a little bit to cover here. First thing I want to take a look at is our whipping boy last year by everybody in Boston sports was Hanley Ramirez for Boston. Now, you have to give the guy credit. As I've been saying all along, he came in early. He learned first base. And right now, his stats pretty much put him number two on MLB's rating for first baseman. I mean, you can't argue. 41 games, 161 at bats. He's getting hits, extra bases. He's not getting a lot of home runs, but that's all right. He's still getting plenty of RBIs. It's still up there in the league, and he's hitting 317. Not for nothing, everyone knocked this player, including me, last year. And it was due. This year, he's hustling, he's working, he's playing the base, he's playing defense, he's doing offense, he's doing everything that he's supposed to be doing. It should be time to show Hanley Ramirez some love here. We should be voting for him often um, for the All-Star game this year. I mean, let's be honest. He should definitely be on that team, and he should be starting on that team if you're just taking a look just on the stats overall in the league. I mean, when I look at this and I just pull down, let's see, I did it by all MLB. You do it just by the American League for first baseman, and he's at the top. I mean, there's a point in which you have to show a player a little respect. Hanley Ramirez deserves that respect. We should be voting for him early and often to get him starting on first base in the All-Star game. Got to give the player a little bit of love. Everyone dogged him last year. Let's show the player some love. All right, so now that we've got the good parts and not knocking every single player in Boston, because the offense is doing its job. You can't have any complaints about that. What I'm taking a look at is back to pitching, and this was my overall warning at the beginning of the season. Now, Wright's doing okay. He's not getting run support. Can't understand it. Everyone else is except him. And the guy has a perfectly good 2.52 ERA. You can't get any better than this. That's as good as, if he can keep this going the entire year, that is a major bonus. Porcello with 351, I don't think he's going to be better than that either. I think right now these two players are probably Wright is far above goal. But Porcello is at goal. He's not going to get better than that, and hopefully this year he's not going to get worse than this. And then you come down, as you go further down the list of, sorting by ERA, you have Kelly. Now, mind you, he had a great game today, but it's still a high ERA. Price, big money pitcher, still has a high ERA. He's got 6 wins, though, but that has to come down. It can't be 5.53. This has to change. He has to work harder at that. That's a him issue. He's having plenty of defense behind him. It's not like this team defensively is atrocious. He has a decent defensive team. He can't ask for any better than that. He has to do a better job there. Now, Buchholz, it's almost 6, and that's not good either. This may be what this player is. I know that in the past he's been a number one pitcher, and simply he may not be that anymore. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't want people to, it's not necessarily bashing Clay Buchholz. He's had a good Red Sox career. People have to remember that, and you have to respect that. If he's not a number one pitcher anymore or a number two pitcher, that's a possibility, and there's nothing wrong with that. People shouldn't necessarily be upset. He's been with us for a little bit. He just may not be the pitcher that he was. There's nothing wrong with that. He's still a solid number 3 or 4 pitcher. He needs to improve. But this may be what this pitcher is. And if he ends up being a 500 pitcher, well, you have room for that on this team. But on the overall basis, is what I'm getting back to, is that you need another star pitcher. I know that's going to be difficult for Red Sox management to swallow, but you need to get another big arm for this team because this team has potential. I don't know if it's going to have potential keeping this current starting pitching staff as it is. Right now, I love how the team is playing. The team on the field is playing awesome. The pitching is the biggest question mark at the moment. And if you had told me that, if you were to tell me that they would be hitting the way they are, I would have laughed in your face because I couldn't even picture it. The team is playing hard. Every player is playing hard. The issue really is starting pitching. Starting pitching is not doing enough innings. You're wearing down the staff here for the relief pitchers. You have to get these pitchers to go innings. If they're not going to go innings, you're still going to have to get another star pitcher, maybe at the All-Star break, because you're going to be able to hang around in this particular league, the American League East. It's more when it comes to playoff time that you need that one more stud pitcher. But if you're going to continue to burn through this relief staff, you're going to have to go get at least two more relief pitchers, middle relief. If these starting pitchers are only going to go 5 innings, then you have to plan for that. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't sit there and hope they're going to go 6 or 7 innings. I mean, I would like to see them go 8. But if you could get them to go 6, I mean, that would be preferable. But some of these pitchers may only be able to go 5. And that just may be a reality that you have to live with, especially with Buchholz. He might not be able to go that many innings anymore. I mean, he has to focus more on the first couple of innings because he's giving up the world in the first couple of innings. And he has to have more focus in those early innings. So now the key thing is when you're looking at the Red Sox schedule, and again, everyone was happy when we're beating up on subpar teams, although the Chicago White Sox is a good team. Yankees had some losses. Then we went through this nice winning streak in here. Then a little bump in the road with Kansas City. Had a great day today with Cleveland. Now coming up, you have the Colorado Rockies, which is not a bad team. I was looking up their standings, and they're a 500 team in the National League. I mean, which is pretty much everyone this year is in and about 500 unless you're a really bad team, like the Atlanta Braves right there. But a lot of people are hovering around that 500 mark in baseball right now. Very few teams have actually separated themselves other than the Cubs. Now, then you have Toronto, which Toronto's lost a lot of players because they were bad boys. Bad boys up in Toronto. That's June. So you have Toronto, then you're going to have Baltimore. And then when you go into June, you're going to end up 2 more games, the 4-game series with Baltimore. Then you're going to swing around with the Blue Jays. Now, the Blue Jays obviously are at the bottom of the barrel. They're there because their players have been bad. Very bad players. They have issues. So hopefully when you have the series, at least with Toronto Blue Jays, that you can get healthy because Baltimore is going to be a tough 4-game series. Baltimore is still a good team. We're still chasing them. They're chasing us. It goes back and forth, leading the American League East. And honestly, I still believe only one team will come out of the American League East after everything is said and done. We'll have to see on that. Seattle's a good team, but they're not that much better than us, per stats. I mean, Chicago is not a bad team either. Cleveland, watching Cleveland, they're interesting. They were horrible today, but Cleveland doesn't look like a bad team. So, I mean, this team has there's some good things that could happen this year with a little bit of planning. But still, we're only a little bit, it's 6:05, but, you're early in the season and you had, honestly, the A's and the Rangers aren't that good of teams right now. And hopefully you're going to be able to get maybe split a series with the Colorado Rockies, and maybe you'll feast on the Toronto Blue Jays where they have some players out, and then maybe hold our own against the Orioles. What you want to do is be able to beat the bad teams. So if you do have some issues with the good teams, you can take those hits now. So again, it's just Mike at MPD Sports, and basically, remember people, when you're out there talking with the sports media here in Boston, you want to bring up, take care of Hanley Ramirez, get him onto first base for the All-Star game, and again, keep pushing for the Red Sox management to get one more pitcher, at least one more starting pitcher that can throw some innings. Hopefully at the All-Star break or when they look to at the trade deadline, we need one more stud pitcher. All right, folks. Mike at MPD Sports. Everyone take care. And until next, bye, everyone.